So, probably like a year back now, I watched an episode of the podcast Chuckle Sandwich with Schlatt. I think Ted was in this one. Yeah, Ted was in this one. And they had Markiplier on. And they were talking about how Markiplier was working on this new movie, Iron Lung, coming out in a couple weeks now. Woo. And in this episode, Markiplier talked about the creative process. He just really had to just get going and like do something. And I watched it and I felt so inspired. And so I decided I was going to make my first video because I've been wanting to be, like everybody is like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber when they grow up. Like everybody's in the same boat. I'm not any different. I'm not special. But it got me fired up, And I was like, oh, I had all this excitement in me. And all of that excitement left my body because I pulled out a sheet of paper and I scribbled down on it and I made this whole plan for this video. I wanted my first video to be super special. And I had this whole plan. I was going to call it Invoking the Muses. Or Invoking the Muse, I think. Something like that. And so I write this whole script. I'm like, oh, I got this whole thing. Like, because my favorite movie is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And at the start of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, because it's a retelling of the Odyssey, it starts with this screen, and it says, "O Muse, sing in me and through me tell the story of that man skilled in all the ways of contending, a wanderer harried for years on end." And I love this line, because it just encapsulates the whole story, and it's kind of the way that all epics start, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be epic. I'm going to be like this big, cool, super awesome YouTuber fella, and so I wanted to go through and I was like, okay, well, I'll talk about Our Brother, Where Art Thou? We could talk about how, for years and years, people invoked the muses when they were making these great works of art, which of course is what the YouTube channel is going to be. It's not going to be that. Because I've decided, and the more I thought about it, and the more I was like, oh, I could do this whole build-up. Why? In this video, it really just became this giant wall. And it stopped being freeing because I was like, oh, I can invoke the muses, like these great storytellers of old. And like, I can build this whole epic thing. Well, I built nothing. I just sat there and I used it to consistently make an excuse for why I wasn't doing what I feel like I want to do. I know I want to make things. I know I want to build something. Like, I don't want the thing that most people in this world remember me for is because I made this video called Gracie Does Good and Pay Money Wubby watched it. I don't even know how long ago, but it got millions of views, or at least 1 million views. I remember that much. And that's probably if you gathered up every person in the world and asked them, what did this guy do? What do you know this guy for? And they could somehow remember. That would be the number one thing someone remembers me for. And the second thing most people probably would know me from is the time that I got mislabeled in the newspaper as being a Special Olympian when I volunteered there. But that's it. And the more I think to myself, the more I know that's not what I want to be remembered for. I don't want to just be this guy that peaked in high school when he made this awful video. That wasn't even the one I wanted to go viral. I thought I was going to go viral because I made this funny dancing video of me dancing to Take On Me by Aha. And I really thought it was going to be so funny and I was going to be like this big YouTuber guy fresh out of high school making one video, and it was terrible. Like, I wanted Pay Money Wubby to watch it because I was like, this is my big chance. I'm going to go viral. He's going to watch my video and then I'll be famous. Well, shockingly enough, he did. He did watch it, but did I go viral? No, because it wasn't a good video. It was just a video I did because my buddy's sister graduated from college and they asked me to clip out the section of her graduation. And I put it up on my YouTube. I didn't even remember it was there when I was trying to go viral. Like, I just forgot I even posted it. And I don't want that to be what people in the world remember me for, is that, the guy that put that on the internet. Or the guy that was in the newspaper for being in the Special Olympics. because they thought I was an athlete that was participating, Like, I want to remember because I did something great. Like, I want to be someone who helps other people. I want to be a hero. I'm tired of just living a mundane life where I'm tolerating and accepting mediocrity. But I have no way to really hold myself to a standard other than myself. Like, I'm in this weird position where I'm good at my job, and I'll be held accountable for that, but in all other areas of my life, I don't have someone who really calls me out, holds me accountable for just settling. Like, people call me out if I have bad behavior, but just settling, I can get by forever in this easy, frictionless void. But it's just, there's nothing here. There's nothing in the void. That's why it's the void. And you can stay there as long as you want. You can sit there and dwell in your mediocrity. And I've been here. I graduated college with my degree, found out in the real world, having a degree in ministry doesn't do a whole lot. It doesn't get you anywhere, really. You can keep volunteering, but you'll never really get a paid position until you're much older, or you have more skills, or you're not me. I don't know. That's just kind of how I ended up. But ever since then, that's all I had my life planned out to. Like, I was getting towards the end of college, and I had the end of high school, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. Like, I was just getting there. I was like, well, I just kind of looked at the pile of jobs that required me to do the least amount of things to do to get paid a bunch. So I was like, I could be a police officer. Well, I didn't even know what that meant. I was just like, well, I can pull people over. Well, then you start thinking about it, and you realize that's a really hard job. Why would you? It pays a lot because it's really difficult. Like, you see so many things, and I think I have a high tolerance in some regards to that stuff, but, like, I don't think I could handle it. Like, if I saw some of the stuff that I've heard stories of, just even from my friends that do law enforcement or other emergency services, firefighting and stuff, like, I couldn't keep up with that on a consistent basis like that. And I just kind of was in this weird spot. And, like, my youth pastor was like, hey, dude, you should go to Bible college. And I just went with it because I was like, what else am I going to do? It seems like it'll turn out somewhere, and like, I trusted God, and I still trust him. That hasn't changed. But where do we go? What do we do? I finished college. I graduated with my bachelor's. And now I'm just in this weird spot where I finished that. And I've just been sitting here waiting for my career to just start. Like, I was told, like, that was what I was given the impression of when I went to college is, hey, you do this, you'll end up with your career at the end. You finish your bachelor's, you'll go get a position in a church. You'll start doing your master's after that, or your doctorate. You just keep working your way up. Well, that's not really how it turned out. And I now realize how naive I was from thinking that. But that naivety doesn't excuse me from the consequences. That naivety doesn't make me magically have a better life now. That naivety doesn't mean I can cash in and just go, hey, I screwed up, guys. You gotta give me a rerun. There's no takesy backsies here. There's no, let me start my turnover. Like, dude, you've screwed up. You've gotta just figure it out. And I know God wanted me here, but where does God want me to go next? And how do I figure out where he wants me to go next? I don't know. Right now, I'm just in this void of frictionless mediocrity is what I would call it best. There's no friction. There's no difficulty. I can continue to do my normal job right now forever, and it will be frictionless. I can always keep advancing, but it'll never peak. It'll never, like, really go higher than it is. But I want to do more than nothing. I want to create things. I want to I don't know. I see all these things and I'm inspired to create. I watch these awesome like video essays about obscure Japanese role-playing games, old computer role-playing games, and I love them. I can't get enough of Madular, Boulder Punch, Dungeon Chill. Like, I love that stuff. That's one of my favorite things to do, is just relax, listen to those while I do my job. And I love it. And every time I watch one, I go, I could do this. And then I stop because it's hard. It is hard to do anything that has friction. Anything that's friction is hard to do. And I've wanted to do this forever. And so I've always thought that I would have to, like, I could just do it. Like, it didn't matter. I would wait until I had this spark of divine inspiration or something. And so I just always gave myself an excuse to just keep pushing and pushing and just going, oh, no, I'll wait. I'll wait until it gets easy. I'll wait until I have this really good video idea. I'll wait until I finish the script for this Invoking the Muse video I want to start with. Well, I decided I wanted to start with that, and then I never did it. You can't start anything if you never start. You know, I wrote down this little initial idea, quick outline, talk about these things, and then I never wrote it up. I have the computer file on my thing. I made a Word document. I opened it, set my font to Times New Roman, font size to 12, as you do, and then I never wrote anything else. Nothing. I never wrote anything in the Word doc. I think I typed a couple words just to set the font and then deleted them so I could actually write the script. I didn't even put the script I wrote on paper into the thing. And the script I wrote on paper was just talk about the Markiplier thing and Chuckle Sandwich and how much that made me feel really fired up and like I wanted to create. And I've been watching so much Wendigo and I was like, dude, like, this is the kind of stuff I want to make. I want to make all these cool, interesting, fascinating videos because they captivate me. And like, I want to make that. I want to make content that captivates. I want to make things that inspire people. I want to just create. I want to do more than nothing. And all these wants, they have this strange thing. They never, all the wants in the world can't get you past the friction. The friction to do more than the minimum, until you actualize it, it never goes anywhere. And so I've had all of these unrequited wants in my life to do and make all these things. Like, I want a business. I'd love to start a business, but I don't know. I don't know what I want to do for the business yet. I don't know if I could do it profitable. I don't know enough about running a business to know if I could do it or how I would do it. I don't know yet, but I know I have that want. But I also know I have this friction, and every time I try and do anything with it, I just go, this is exhausting. And I boot up Elden Ring Night Rain, I boot up Risk of Rain, throw on the TV, watch some episodes of YouTube, whatever. And so I keep finding myself, I go back. I have this awful, vicious cycle. If I go on YouTube, I watch something, I go, this is amazing, and I feel inspired and I want to create. And I go, I want to do this. And it doesn't go anywhere. And I always watch it. I get inspired. I get upset at myself for never doing anything with it. And then when I'm upset and I'm exhausted, this friction, I just go back to watching it, start the cycle over. And I've just been stuck in this cycle for years. And ever since I graduated college and didn't just go anywhere, I've just been letting myself exist in that place of, it'll start eventually, so I don't have to do anything. But I do. I have to do something. I'm tired of living my life without friction. I need to go do hard things. I need to just make some videos. Like, I don't even know how to describe just how this feels right now. I finally just feel like this weight off of my chest as I finally just speak all of these things that have just been building on me. And I don't know if this will resonate with anyone else. I don't. Like, I hope it does. I hope someone gets something out of this video. But really, the reality is, not a lot of people might watch this. This might just be the first brick laid in a road that never gets finished. never does anything. But I had to make it. I had to try. I had to start. I had to do more than just let myself exist in this void. I have to leave. I need to go. I don't know if this is how I leave. I just know I need to do something, and I need to try everything I can do to get out of this place. And you know, I think the other part of it too is everyone's done everything. There's nothing new under the sun, you know. Everything's been done. All I feel inspired to do, it's hard because I watch and I go, well, Wendigoon already did it better. He did do it better. I don't think I could make perhaps a better video than him, you know? Same thing with car stuff. There's nothing I can do on a car that the average person can't. I would just be showing you something funny and maybe telling you a cool story. And the same thing goes for making game stuff. You know, I don't know Japanese. I can't do all the research some of these guys do on these obscure games where they're translating, you know, and they're spending money to get imported special edition novels and special edition manga and stuff, and they're translating them or having fans translate them so they can get these full, complete narratives that they make. I can't do that. I'm just one guy, and I don't know Japanese. But, I mean, that's a story for a different time. But, I don't know. Everything just feels like someone else has already done it. And I think it's getting only even worse with the whole AI situation. It's just AI makes you feel powerless in some ways. Like, I don't use AI. I don't. I try and avoid it as much as I can. I hate the freaking... I try to Google anything anymore, and it just pops up and goes, little AI summary. Well, they're always wrong. I always have to go to the actual forums. Every time I search up a question about working on my minivan, it's like, oh yeah, this Toyota thing. You know, it's actually this. And then you go to the forum. Well, it's not. The AI summary is almost always wrong when you ask it a precise piece of information. But the problem is it seems knowledgeable. It seems to me there's nothing more I could add, I could create. Like, in my mind, when I look at anything I could do, I'm just putting a drop into the ocean. Just a drop. But as I was driving to work today, I was just thinking to myself, and I thought, the ocean is just a lot of drops. I mean, that's silly, but let me elaborate. Okay, what I mean by that is if I'm the guy putting drops out there, I'm still filling up the ocean. But the thing is, when you're thirsty, you just go to the ocean and you drink. You bring your bucket, you bring your water. You know, obviously you don't actually drink ocean water because, you know, it's bad for you or whatever. But what I'm saying is I can be the one putting drops in there, and, you know, someone's thirsty, they're going to drink. And you know what? There's something that's humbling and thrilling to me that I could be the guy that, you know, kind of, you know, I'm the guy quenching your thirst, you know? That sounds wrong. But I'm serious, like, even if I'm just putting some drops in the ocean, someone's going to see this. There'll be one person, maybe one person ever, who watches this whole thing to the end. I mean, I don't know. I can't read the little letters on the screen, the numbers on the screen tell me what minute I'm at for recording this thing, but like someone will watch this. There'll be like one person, maybe ever, who comes back and watches this, but he's going to watch it. And that's going to be my little drop in the ocean, right? And it does something. It's not a nothing when it becomes a something. Like, even if it's just a little thing. If I do all these little things, I can make a big thing. And all of a sudden, these little drops I'm throwing in the ocean that feel so meaningless, they're a nice little pond now. You know, and not everybody wants a pond, but I'd be happy with a pond. I think I'd be happy just to help one person. I don't know. If you're feeling the same way, feeling stuck in this void space, kind of just life is easy, but it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't feel meaningful. I don't know. Leave some comments, some thoughts. I'd love to just chat with you in the comments about it. you know, and I don't know. I'm not really sure how I'm going to end this, man. I just knew I had to make it. I had to put it out there. I had to get it done. So consider this the official outro. Maybe we'll put some music on it. I don't know. Anyway, God made you special. He loves you very much. Be prepared for more videos at some point. I don't know. See you.